an award-winning entrepreneur, an energy economist and speaker, Joycee Awosika, with a history of running companies, mainly Oríkì, a natural farm to skin brand that has developed into 6 spa centers in the last 4 years and is globally distributed. She is known for her contribution to the energy policy, the privatization of the power sector, and multi-sector collaborations during the power sector privatization reform in Nigeria. She spearheaded the launch of the Oríkì Training Institute, OTI, in October 2021. OTI is the leading spa training institute committed to supporting spa, wellness businesses, and industry professionals across Africa by providing training, consultancy services, and influencing industry standards. Join us to welcome Joycee as she takes us through her life's journey, decisions, and what it means to truly serve.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the keynote speech of the ZoltCon, the Zolt Conference. I'm so honored to be here with you today and to speak on such a topic that is so important now and so important for the future, and that is called to serve. If you're listening to me right now, you're likely an entrepreneur, right? And you're in the digital space. You have an online business, you're doing digital, providing services, reaching your target audience on the digital space. And I'm here to encourage you and to teach you on this important topic and to take you on a journey where you understand by the end of this, you should be able to understand exactly what it means to build a company that's focused on service, that's focused on impact, no matter what industry you are in. And yes, no matter what industry you are in, it impacts all. So let's get right into it. I know that we are going to keep the time with this conference, so I'm going to get back into this, and please grab your pen, your paper, get ready to take notes. I'm going to drop some nuggets with you, and I hope that you have a great setting and a great beginning stage for this conference after you've heard this speech. Thank you so much for joining once again, and we'll get right into it. For those who don't know, my name is Joycee Awosika, and I am the founder of Oríkì. Oríkì is a fast-growing wellness and farm-to-skin brand that has been in existence for 6 years. We just turned 6 on October 25th. And we play in a few spaces. So we're in the retail space through our product range. We're in the service space through our wellness centers and experiences. And then we also are a manufacturer of personal grooming products for hotels, hospitality brands, our own range, and other SMEs. In the past 6 years, we've scaled the business to 7 wellness centers, and we distribute our products across 3 continents. We use e-commerce, we use our in-spa spaces to sell our products as well. We've also just built and launched the Oríkì Training Institute, which is an institute designed to build spa professionals, empower them, and create standards across the sector across Africa. And in addition to that, we've launched the Oríkì franchise with hopes of opening 1,000 franchisees or empowering 1,000 franchisees over the next 5 years. That's a bit about me. And I'm sure you see a theme running through this slide. Every single aspect of the business is service-oriented and service-focused. As I mentioned here, it is a journey. So moving right on, I was thinking about service and what other word can we use when we talk about call to serve? And the word that came to my mind is impact. So today, what I'm really going to take you on a journey is, I want to put you in the driver's seat. Imagine yourself, imagine your company. What is your current mission and vision? What currently drives you? Do you wake up and think about how you need to just make more money? Or do you wake up and think about how you want to impact more lives? Again, remember what I said, it doesn't matter what industry, we're going to get there. I'm going to show you how it cuts across all. But what matters is your motive. What is your motive every single day when you face your business? When you talk to your team members and your staff, what are you telling them? How are you encouraging them? Let's talk about the impact-driven model. There's never a better time than now to launch or transform your company into an impact-driven business. And let me tell you a bit about myself. When I first moved to Nigeria, my first time was 2011 in Nigeria. I actually have always been someone who sought out to solve problems. I'm always looking to solve problems. And of course, where I can monetize that problem solving, I do. So quickly after I started, I began to see that people were constantly asking me about my hair. Yes, the hair, the weaves, the wigs that were being worn on my head. And I thought to myself, well, I have a supplier directly from China that I source I'm one of those people that like to get it directly from the source. And how can I help people also feel this confident about their hair? Now I began to say, okay, the next person who asks me, let me inquire, would they like me to source the hair from them? And that's how my business started. That's how a business started in the hair industry. Some of you might be watching now and you're in the fashion and beauty or hair industry and you're wondering, how exactly can I create impact? Where I realized something. Every single customer that came to me, they shared a pain point. They let me know that they were used to spending loads of money on hair without seeing the results of quality. And therefore, they were stressed, overwhelmed, they felt used, they felt very disappointed, and they felt they were giving up. But when they saw my hair, they'd ask me how long I'd had it, and I would say, oh, this is 2 years, 3 years old. I knew I could solve the problem. I could instill confidence in these women, in the hair they wore on their head. I could instill confidence at a good price point. And I set out on a journey to provide hair. And it turned into one individual customer to supplying bulk orders of hair to hair salons, allowing people to also make money through the resale and distribution of hair. And guys, that is how I came up with my first investment to start Oríkì. So once again, there's no better time than now to launch or transform your company into an impact-driven business. It's about you switching the motive and switching the story. Let's go further. Over the last decade, there has been a shift in what people buy. How many of you have noticed that you're more compelled to buy when you know the story, when you know the mission and the vision, when you understand the purpose behind the company? We talk about companies like Apple that are literally trying to make life more tech accessible and convenient for people. They've created phones that are your computer. Samsung, we all know their mission. They've built these cult-like, tribe-like brands. But what about even other brands? Rihanna, Fenty Beauty, when she came out, she said, I wanted to make a brand that had shades for all skin tones, not just those brands that say, okay, here's a dark skin shade, but then they don't know there's a dark skin red, a dark skin yellow. She wanted to really go in deep and provide for all. What is your story? There has been a shift. People are more compelled to buy from brands that are either very impact driven or sharing their story. And if you can do both, just understand that you're going to be eons ahead of the competition. When you place two equivalent products side by side, majority of the time, a consumer will prefer to buy the service-oriented, impact-driven one. And let me tell you about my story when it comes to Oríkì. It started off as a product range, as I told you. And I really wanted to put Africa on the map in the global space and build a brand that could compete against the L'Oreals, the Body Shops, the Bath and Body Works, and really, really show that we had all the resources in this continent and in Nigeria. So I set out on this journey to create these products. Started off with 39. And I thought to myself, how am I going to get the awareness? I don't have a Rihanna type budget. I don't have a huge marketing budget. So I was creative. I decided to create an experience so that people can actually engage through with the product through an experiential process, through a spa. And that's how the Oríkì spa was built. It came after the product range. And slowly, we began to see, I said slowly, I mean rapidly, we began to see that people really valued the spa services. When they came in and had their facial, they used the Oríkì products, but the spa was really catching on and there was a buzz. And so I realized something. We had a chance to transform people's lives by providing these pampering and restoration and rejuvenation. But that wasn't what I started with. That wasn't my core. That wasn't in the first marketing plan of Oríkì. It was all about the products. So I began to realize that I could provide this service. I could serve our customers by providing restoration services to them And by that, sell my products, sell the Oríkì products. And that's how we began on a journey. Now, we began to realize that we couldn't even fulfill the demand, right? We could not even fulfill the demand in our one spa space. People were calling and we had to continuously say fully booked. So what do you do when you can't fulfill demand? You have to find a way to scale. And so we realized that we're going to have to open more locations. At the same time, while customers were demanding more, we were also getting phone calls from locations, buildings asking, would we want to place an Oríkì location there? So we realized that there was something beyond just this one spa space and this product range. There was a purpose behind this business, and it was to democratize wellness. Now, again, this has been a 6-year journey, and I wish I was a part of a conference like ZoltCon in year 1 or year 2, where I could actually talk about profits and growing and scaling, because at that time, it would have been a light bulb moment to me to actually consider opening more experiential centers sooner. But I feel we did it at the right time. We understood the demand and we capitalized on it. Now, the previous slide talked about placing 2 products side by side. If you place our spa next to others, you will notice a huge differentiator. I'm happy to announce that Oríkì is now a market leader in the spa space in Nigeria. We have the most number of spas than any other spa brand out there. However, we realized why. Entrepreneurs, it's important to know your why. How did we get there? What was the differentiator? And it was our focus on serving. We realized that a lot of the spas, and I've been to over 13 to be able to do competitive studies, to be able to compare, to be able to see what others are doing. I noticed very quickly that we had an entire service-oriented vibe about the company. We wanted to make your life better by the time you came through our doors. We wanted your experience from reaching out online to make a booking, from making a phone call, from engaging in our service centers and our spas. We wanted you to feel something different. We didn't want you to feel like you were just another number. Because the truth of the matter is, our business runs from turnover. How quickly can you get someone in and get someone out? What we found was that when we focused on the individual, we did much better. And the same thing with products. We focused on selling exactly what the people needed for their own skin condition, their own skin concern, letting them feel like they were cared after, creating different product lines and product ranges. We saw a difference. We saw an increase in revenue. We saw an increase in profit. Remember, I mentioned that when you focus on the impact, you focus on the service, the numbers will come. So using the power of purpose to scale your business is critical. It's key. What's your purpose? You could be selling phone gadgets. You could be selling technology items. You could be selling cars. You could be selling hair. You could be selling fashion accessories as a side business. Whether or not, no matter what you're selling, I need you to write down now, what is your purpose? Beyond making money to feed your home or to empower yourself, to pay bills, what is your purpose? Are your fashion accessories designed to make women feel more beautiful and more confident? Are they unique? Do you create personalized jewelry? Are you selling automobiles at prices better than anyone so that people with families can afford them? What's your purpose? Use the power of purpose to scale your business and you will see a difference. Purpose does not mean sacrificing profits. Now, I hear this time and time again, but I'm not a socially impact-driven company. I am not doing CSR. This is not charity. Just because you have a well-defined purpose does not mean that you have to sacrifice profits. I would dare say that by creating a well-defined purpose, you will see an increase in your profits. Our mission and our vision changed over the years. By year 3, we realized that we had a passion and a vision to leave a piece of Africa with consumers around the world. That's for our products and for the services to democratize wellness by pampering individuals one person at a time. What's your purpose? When you know your purpose, it's easier to stay streamlined on your focus, on your business. It's easier to streamline things and to say yes and to no to what's important. It's easier than you're going to see it translate to your profits. Start to think of businesses that you've engaged with, even if it's a hair salon or a barbershop, that really focus on you, really give you an amazing experience. When you think about them, you realize that you want to keep spending with them. You want to keep going back to them. So even having a well-defined purpose helps you create loyalty with your consumer market, with your customers, with your clients. People now book well in advance. They come today for a service, or they buy a product now and they're buying in bulk, or they're booking for their next service, because we have begun to articulate exactly what our purpose is. And that is to restore, rejuvenate, and pamper bodies, and to provide natural skincare products that are potent and that are effective for men and for women. So I'm here to drop some nuggets, right? I am here for you to take notes. I want you to write down: improve lives, outperform competition. Take it to the bank, cash, cha-ching. Take this statement to the bank. If you focus on improving lives, you will surely outperform your competition. I'll give you an example in my industry. We are in the day spa, wellness spa industry. There are a number of different types of spas, but our focus is restoration, health, beauty, wellness. And with that, we began to focus on how do we make someone's life better? When they come in, do they have a skin consultation? And we tell them exactly what would help their skin. And then we sell them the products. We're not just out there saying, hey, take a whipped shea butter just because we want to sell more. We're out there making sure they feel seen and they feel heard. So no matter what business you're in, I want you to begin to think about how your business improves lives. How does it improve lives? And then write it out and begin to create stories around it. Make sure your media presence, your marketing focuses on how you improve lives. If you look at any of our pages, whether it be the e-commerce page for Buy Oríkì or the Oríkì group page, you will see a theme. We're constantly talking about how we can improve your life, how we can make you feel better, how you can do better. In general, improving lives will help you to outperform competition. Now, the top performing brands are built on ideals, higher order purposes that transcend products and services. Let's just name them. What are the top brands in the world? Amazon, right? Tesla, right? We're talking about Nigeria. We could talk about Dangote. We could talk about MTN. We could talk about big companies that are literally have a purpose. So Dangote is trying to bring all types of, whether it's cement, whether it's food items, he's trying to bring them closer to the consumer at a cheaper and more competitive price. What's Amazon doing? Providing anything you need on demand. I mean, I don't think there's anything Amazon doesn't sell. They don't sell people, but they sell almost everything you need. And they then offered Prime. They began offering more and new things that would make everyone's life better. So they realized that, okay, we have this service, started with books. Now people want everything on demand. So they can purchase it, but now people want it same day or next day, and they offered Prime. You have to continue to reinvent and innovate. You have to continue to figure out what purpose, what can you create in your business that would help people's lives do better. It transcends more than just making money. It's about the purpose. So in a recent study, I think this was from Statistica, 42% of companies that were not considered purpose-driven showed a drop of revenue. However, 85% of purpose-led companies showed positive growth. Once again, the proof is in the pudding. This is telling you that the companies that have a purpose and that articulate that purpose and make that purpose known are the companies that do better, that grow faster. Those are the companies that win. Can you be one of those companies? How can you begin? Remember the second slide. It says it's never too late. Now is the time to begin to transform your company into being a purpose-driven, service-driven, called to serve company. Customers are at the focus of your company, whether it's B2B or B2C, whether it's hair, whether it's fashion, whether it's pharmaceuticals. Focusing on your customer will differentiate your company. And that's what we did. How many of you know that in the spa industry, in the products industry, there are a number of new things that have come out, new procedures, new things. But for us, we assess every new thing and decide, does this speak to our purpose? So because we are a wellness spa space, we realize that we don't do medical spa services. We leave that for others. And focusing and streamline on what we really want to achieve for our customers has also helped us grow. Listening to our customers is important, but everything that we do, everything we decide to do at the end of the day focuses on our customer avatar. Our customer is anyone that is looking for restoration, rejuvenation, and pampering. Anyone stressed, anyone who wants to put wellness at the core of their focus, that is who our customer is. And for that, we focus on them, and that has helped differentiate us over the last 6 years. Let's take a look at one of the biggest companies in the world, Walmart. I'm sure everyone on here has heard about Walmart. Walmart had a founder who was purpose-driven. Sam Walton passed away in 1992, but his mission that he wanted for this legacy business was to grow the company to be the world's largest corporation by revenue, as well as the biggest private employer in the world. He was famous for saying something, well, at the end of the day, I hope I could save people a little so they could live a little better. See it, it's right there. The purpose mission statement is there. He wanted to save people money on the items they bought so that they could live a little better. So if he sold a pot or a pan in Walmart, he wanted it to be cheaper at a good quality than his next store, the store next door, the convenience store next door, so that people could keep a little bit of earnings in their pockets. He said, it's not what you sell, it's what you stand for. Write that down. It's not what you sell, it's what you stand for. What do you stand for? So like me, I was selling hair when I first got to Nigeria, and I did extremely well at it. The profits I made from the hair industry is what was my first investment when I stepped out to launch Oríkì. And I focused on, okay, it's hair. It seems like it's trivial. It seems like it's not important. But instead, I focused on the fact that it's actually very important. It helps a woman feel confident. It helps them put their best foot forward, helps them look great and feel great. So it's not what you sell, what do you stand for? So my stance was that I want to touch as many women as possible and give them quality at a good price. Let them feel seen. So what exactly do you stand for? What do you stand for? So moving right along. From good to great. This is another case study to me because this is a book by Jim Collins. If you haven't heard of the book, I'd encourage you to get it as an entrepreneur. It's a beautiful red covered book by Jim Collins. And what does he talk about? He talks about the companies that are built to last, but the angle is quite interesting. He focuses on companies that were good. They were doing all right. They were making profits. They were sailing. They were moving along smoothly. And how do they move from good to great? He says to make sure good to great companies endure, core values, we're hearing it again, and purpose must align with something more than just making money. Guys, it's literally, this is a loud message. It's reverberating. It's just imagine drums saying, telling you once again, your core values and your purpose must align with something more than just making money. That's how you become a good to great company, amongst many other things. So for example, learning how to create the right team. That's not the topic for today. So let's move right along. For this, I want you to write down that the core values and purpose must align with something more than making money. So for the companies, right, who are thinking, well, I started my business because I saw X, Y, and Z person doing very well, and I figured I can do it. That's what you call a Me Too company. And it's okay. You've done it because you felt like me too. I could also achieve it. That's okay. But remember, I'm reminding you today, the purpose of this keynote speech is to tell you that as long as you can switch your story, switch your narrative to focusing on how you can be impact driven and how you can make your customers' lives better, it's not too late. Profit by Peter Drucker. He says, profit is not the purpose of a business, rather the test of its validity. So you're hearing me speaking, you're thinking to yourself, okay, all well and good. Tell good story, be impact driven, serve, serve, serve. But what about my profits? The truth is, as I said, you do all those things and you have a market, then the money will come. But the profit of your business, profit should not be the purpose of your business. I don't wake up saying my goal today, my reason for Oríkì is to make all the profit in the world. I'm trying to build a legacy business. And when you want to build a legacy business, profit just tests that your business is valid, that it's strong, that it can stand the test of time, but it's not the purpose of your business. Create a winning purpose, decide upon it, and you will see the profit come. Now, profit then becomes a measure of how well you're performing against your purpose. So after you've created your purpose, you've determined exactly that impact that your company is going to solve, what your business is going to provide for people. And then you're saying, okay, I want to see a change in my profit. I want to see things change because now I'm really sure the value I'm adding to my customers and to my consumers. Well, at that point, the profit will then become a measure of how well you are performing. So now at Oríkì, for example, every year we have larger goals. So we'll say to ourselves that this year we did X amount of profit in both products and in services. Next year, because we've even come up with more innovative ways to solve our customers' problems, we should be doing X amount times what we did last year. It will then help you to measure your performance, okay, your profit. So start today. Start today. This is the keynote. And I'm here to tell you to start today. Create a purpose statement today. You have your mission and your vision, but I'm sure you've been jotting notes already. You've been thinking, what is the purpose going to be for your company? How are you changing lives? How are you impacting? How are you making people's lives better? Start creating that purpose today. So your mission statement, right, is there. Your vision statement is there. However, your purpose is your mission statement on steroids. What exactly is your overarching purpose? Why do you exist? You've heard the statement like people say, I was created for a purpose. You know there's a purpose you were created for. Many of us find, we move along our whole lives looking to confirm what our purpose is. Some of us know from childhood age what our purpose is. Some of us are we halfway know. I believe that it's revealed in parts. As you move along, your purpose becomes clearer and clearer. So your purpose statement should be your mission statement on steroids, on an all-time high. So for example, for us, we care about providing memorable wellness experiences and demonstrating care. Care is at the core of our business. Nurture is our first core value. So you see how everything is aligned in my company. And we also, on the product side, we leave a piece of Africa with beauty consumers around the world. And that's because we're using shea butter, hibiscus, turmeric, moringa, all these ingredients that we literally source from farmers on the continent of Africa. So what's your purpose? What is your purpose? An effective purpose statement will shift your company culture. And it also the mindset from an internal focus to an external one. What do I mean by that? Let me break this down. Something changed in my company around year 2, year 3. When we became more, I told you, we started scaling, figuring out more ways to get closer to our consumer. We brought on more distributors for our products. We built our e-commerce website to be very customer friendly, mobile friendly. And then we knew exactly why we existed. And we began to communicate that with the company, with the team. We call it the Oríkì family, the staff members. We began to communicate it. And guess what we found? There was a change in how people even approach their jobs. They believed that they were part of a company that had a huge role to play in people's lives, that were a global company. You'll find that if your team members don't know your purpose or your mission or your vision, you are failing your company. You're failing them because they need to be able to key into this idea of serving, of impact, and it will begin to really change. They'll begin to look at even every customer that comes in the door as someone of value, someone that's important, someone that we have to leave a good impression on. So I always tell the story that by year 3, you can literally ask our housekeepers in the locations, in the product stores, in the spa spaces, you could ask them what's Oríkì's mission? What's Oríkì's vision? And they could tell you, because it became a company focus that everyone must know our purpose. It wasn't about just the founder or the MD or the management. Everyone had to know, and we saw it directly correlate to performance. Okay? So you're going to use your purpose and service, I've mentioned this before, to create a competitive advantage. Make your purpose your unique selling point. Make it your USP. So the reason why we launched a franchise when no other spa in Nigeria has launched a franchise is because we realized that we want to democratize wellness. That's part of our purpose. You saw that in the slides previous, prioritizing wellness and care. So in order to do that, we need to create more spaces and go into more communities, make it your unique selling point. So that's our USP. Then ensure your team buys into your purpose. I just mentioned that. Let them buy into it and really understand. You will see it impact your company. You will see it. Storytell. Think about people out there who are using their stories to make profit and to scale their businesses. Really tell the story. So once you've determined the purpose, get out there and tell the story. That should be your new narrative. That should be your new focus. Right now, you have a chance. This is December 2022. You're moving in 2021. See, I'm already in 2022. You're moving into a new year. It's not too late. Begin to change your narrative. And for those of you listening to me who've already been focused on impact, who've already created a purpose statement, who've already focused on how you are called to serve, I want to give you a round of applause right now. And I want to tell you, well done. But even though I started Oríkì with the service point of view in the product space, I still hadn't 100% captured it. I still didn't get the magnitude of what we were building and what we were doing. So began to write it out and start to move forward, march forward into January, into every month of the year with this new narrative. So I came to give you a wake-up call today. And I hope you've been motivated. I hope you've been inspired. I hope you've began to see your business in a different light. I hope you've decided that you're not going to cower down anymore and think, oh, I'm just selling headbands. I'm just selling jewelry. You'll begin to think about how you are empowering people's lives. You are helping them to feel better, look better. You're making their lives easier. You're saving them money. This is the wake-up call. What's your purpose? What's the impact of your company? How are you going to serve? That's the new narrative. Service and storytelling. How are you going to make a difference in people's lives? Really drill down. Who is your customer? Who's your customer and how can you make their lives better? Be specific about it. I could talk about so many things in this keynote speech. I could talk about your customer avatar. For you to know how to serve, you need to know who your customer is. Drill down. Who's your customer? Then make sure you have a drive and a motivation to improve someone's life. That will help you to innovate. So now we innovate. Oríkì, we're consistently innovating on products that help solve skin concerns or make their skin routine easier. We innovate on the spa centers by doing home service, by providing technological solutions. Innovate. And then don't become a watered down slogan. I want to encourage you to be the real deal. You know those slogans, your mantras, you know, you can Google them, you can search them. Dedicated to being the greatest in my industry. Faceless. It's very generic. Improving lives one person at a time. Wonderful, but how? Become the real deal. Figure out exactly what your slogan is, what's your leading, your winning statement, what's your mantra, what's your purpose, and become that. Imbibe it and set out there to become a purpose-driven, service-driven company and take that on as your new narrative. Thank you so much for listening to this. I hope that as you navigate the rest of this conference, you hear more and more things that just pile up and layer on this message. I hope that today you found something that you will hold on to and use it as you continue to chart your business trajectory forward. I hope you realize that as you create more purpose, you will indeed create more profit. Be encouraged and go out there and build a great company, not just a good one.
Oh my gosh, that was such an amazing address. Please, can we show Joycee some love in the comments? Joycee, thank you so much. I'm literally speechless. You know, I've been taking down notes. That was such an impactful session. Let me bring myself up on the screen. One moment, please, guys. Okay. All right, you guys, please, let's keep the love coming. Let's show Joycee some love. Joycee, thank you so much. This has been the perfect way to kick off this conference. I'm called to serve. we had people sending their questions before this conference, and quite a number of people could not piece together, especially people who sold products, right? Sometimes it's easy for you to, when you're in the service based space, it's easy for you to, just say, well, how does my service help people? But you give an example of, I mean, it's so good that you were in the hair business, and you give practical examples of how you can be selling hair, but it's not the hair, right? It's what does this hair do for women? You give an example about Rihanna and what she's doing with the fancy products. I think those were such salient examples to help people really relate, right?
Yeah.
So thank you so much for this, Joycee. I learned so much. Um, I just want to, highlight the core thing, the resounding theme in your speech today, which is it's not too late. Now is that time to start. So for anyone here who just listened to this beautiful speech and you feel like you've been doing things the wrong way all this while, it's not too late to start. You can start today, right? Joycee asked us to write a lot of things. One of the things she's asked us to do is write our purpose statement. And I hope that you actually do that today. Ask yourself, how am I serving? How am I thinking about the needs of my customer? And how am I taking it beyond just the profit? Thank you so much, Joycee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
So we've come to the end of this session, and yeah, I'm just speechless. Like, look at me, I'm literally stuttering.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. All right. See you guys in the next session.
Bye, everyone.